Je, una mipangilio gani kuhusu ile Olympic ya Paris kule Ufaransa?
Kama saa hii nikirudi nyumbani najua government sasa sijui sasa kama nitaingia plan yao ni nini kama government. Sasa unajua siwezi sema nitaenda Paris na labda mpango yao ndio nitaenda kujiandaa nijue nini nitafanya.
That is yet to be determined because as is now, I am going back. I don't know what new information is on the way. He's talking about the government, so I don't know how that comes in, but it's yet to be determined. Meaning, if he's given an opportunity, he will, but as of now, he can't say for sure what's going to happen about it.
Champion, when you run, how do you?
Sema nyumbani walisema ni mzuri ya ili utakienda ridaya kuna vifukizi wenye wanashikia ili.
Back home, they were very elated. They were so happy. They're saying that even if Eliud retires, there are replacements for him that are coming up. They're upcoming uh, runners who could replace him. My name is Elizabeth Okongo, and I am Swahili English and English Swahili interpreter. I mainly work in the medical field and legal field, and those that pop up, like the Boston Marathon today, as it was. Yes, my job has got very many challenges, some of which are outside my control. Like you saw what happened even in this plenary hall today. My candidate that was being interviewed. Ethically, the professional ethics require that when you have somebody who does not understand, whose English is limited, everything that's going on in the room, I need to interpret to him, whether the questions were asked to him or no. Up there during the interview, you see there were four of them. How many? There were four of them. And so because of the environment, I was not interpreting all the other questions that went to the other candidates, except I was looking out only for him. That is not acceptable. If his English is limited, he needs to know everything that's going on in the room. I was feeling very guilty that I was not able to practice that at all. I only interpreted questions that were directed to him. That is quite not right. That is not what I teach.
And what do you think should have been done differently?
What would have been done differently is the organizers should have been made aware that there is the presence of an interpreter because somebody's English is limited. Therefore, they needed to have made that allowance that, they talk in short sentences to enable accurate and precise and timely interpretation for comprehension to the person who does not understand English. That was not even attempted.
Even Chebet was your client. How did you get to fill that position? Who hired you?
Good question. There are organizers that get the contracts, and it's up to them to look for the interpreters. So it's like working through an agency, working through somebody else to get here, and that is how I get to know that is how I get to get the job or get the contract through somebody else.
How important is it for our athletes to have interpreters all the time?
Very, very, very important. When you are in a place where the language you don't understand, that already is a major setback. And typically, language comes along with cultural nuances. So, as the interpreter, I am a cultural broker as well as clarifying all the other things that go with language.
What would be your advice to Kenyans? Because like what happened yesterday after the marathon, Kenyans, they did not understand that there's too much pressure when Evans was answering the question yesterday and he couldn't speak much. And their translation back at home is that he wasn't comfortable, or rather he didn't understand the question. But you're right there. What do really happen? Because today really eloquent and he answered really good. What do you think happened yesterday?
Number one, what you saw, I also saw probably part of it, because at the finish line, me as the interpreter, I could see from a distance that there my client needs my service. But the organizers pushed us back and we were told nobody beyond this point. And I was there and saying to this organizer, hey, that fellow there does not speak English, does not comprehend any English. So there was that obstacle that I was there to bridge, but I was not allowed to reach where my services were required. Well, I would say it's miscommunication on the part of the organizers, and they really need to look into that, because that impacts on the competitors or the athletes as well.
Okay, you're really talking about the organizers. Where do you put our government in all this? Because they know our people. They should understand this thing more than anyone else. Do you want to speak about that? Are you comfortable?
Yes,
Yeah,
on
because
my part, the little I know, the government should probably petition these people, in as much as I know the government has a say about, what's their safety going to be like. This should be part of their safety. Hey, are they going to be secluded so everything else is going on around them and they do not know? Government should almost insist or make it mandatory that the presence of an interpreter from the moment they land to the moment they leave should be there.